The small village of Willowbrook in northern England was peaceful. Stone cottages stood beside narrow roads. Every morning, an old man named Thomas walked slowly to the village post office. He was 82 years old. He wore the same brown coat every day. And every single morning, he asked the same question. "Has there been a letter for me today?" The postmaster smiled kindly. "Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. Not today." Thomas simply nodded. "Maybe tomorrow." Then he walked home. At the edge of the village stood a tiny cottage covered with climbing roses. Inside lived Thomas and his wife, Margaret. They had been married for 60 years. Margaret had Alzheimer's disease. Some days she remembered Thomas. Most days she didn't. Every morning she looked at him and asked, "I'm sorry, have we met before?" Thomas never cried. He simply smiled. "Yes, my name is Thomas. I'm your husband, and I've loved you since the summer of 1965. Margaret smiled politely, as if she were meeting him for the very first time. Years earlier, before her memory began to fade, Margaret had written dozens of letters. She hid them somewhere inside their old cottage. One for every year she believed Thomas might spend alone after she was gone. But Alzheimer's arrived sooner than expected. She forgot where she had hidden them. She even forgot that the letters existed. Only one clue remained. She once whispered, "When you need me most, the house will remember." Thomas searched every room, every drawer, every cupboard. For years, he never found a single letter. One stormy autumn afternoon, the wind knocked over an old grandfather clock. As Thomas lifted it back into place, he heard something fall inside the wooden frame. A small tin box. His hands began to shake. Inside were dozens of yellow envelopes. Every envelope had a year written on it. 2027, 2028, 2029. And one envelope simply read, "Open this when you think you've lost me forever." Thomas opened it with trembling hands. Inside was Margaret's handwriting. "My dear Thomas, if you're reading this, my memories may already be gone. One day, I might forget your face. I might forget your voice. But please don't ever believe that I stopped loving you. Alzheimer's steals memories. It cannot steal love. If I ask who you are, introduce yourself again. If I forget our wedding, tell me the story again. If I fall in love with you every morning, then please marry me every morning." Thomas couldn't stop the tears. The next morning,
He walked to the post office again. "Has there been a letter for me today?" The postmaster smiled sadly. "I'm sorry, Thomas." Thomas smiled back. "There doesn't need to be. I finally received the one I've been waiting for." He walked home.
Margaret looked up from her chair. She smiled gently. "I'm sorry. Have we met before?" Thomas took her hand. His eyes filled with tears. He smiled as though it were the happiest day of his life.
"My name is Thomas, and today I'd like to fall in love with you all over again."